All right, artists, I'm showing you all the skills that you need to know to make a mug. So we're going to take this sphere that we made. Let's say that again together, sphere. Good job. And we're going to start to turn it into what's called a vessel. So a form, a three-dimensional shape that can hold something, is called a vessel. So what are some examples of vessels? A bowl, a vase, a cup. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our thumb, and if your thumb bends back like mine, you're gonna try and straighten it out. And we're gonna stick our thumb down into the middle of our ball. We don't wanna go all the way through, just part is good. Then we're gonna turn our hand into a duck bill. We don't want a little bird beak. We want a nice big duck bill. And we're gonna take our duck bill and we're gonna turn our sphere, making little pinches. And I'll show you later why we want little pinches, not big pinches, okay? And I'll show you how to fix some mistakes that might happen. If it starts to get a little dry and stick to your hands, of course we're just gonna go back to our water. I'll make things nice and slippy. But if we get too much water, we get a mud puddle. Don't go crazy, okay? I'm going around and around, and you can see that the wall of my vessel is getting thinner. I want it no thicker than my pinky, so I still have some work to do. I'm gonna keep going. So let's make sure we get our rim of our vessel nice and thin. This looks good. It's about as thin as my pinky. Now where it's not thin, I can feel it, is the bottom. That's still pretty thick. So I'm gonna stick my thumb way down in there and just pinch that a little more. So now I have a rounded bottom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hold it a little bit off the messy mat, about that far, and I'm just gonna drop it a couple times, and that's gonna flatten out the bottom so that my mug will sit flat. Okay, and this is a pretty nice mug, pretty nice vessel. What are a couple things that might happen to your mug that you might need to fix? Well, so let's say that you use little tiny birdie pincher fingers instead of a big duck bill, and the rim of your mug gets too thin. That would be pretty hard to drink out of. We can just fold that down and smooth it out. And we're gonna have to tear some clay off the rest of our mug so it's about the same height. But we can get our hands wet, fold it down, smooth it out, and fix it. All right, now I want to show the other thing that might happen. It's really thin here. I might tear my mug. If that happens, I'm just gonna fold it so it overlaps and use that water to smooth out that place where it was torn. I'm gonna moosh it together really good. I don't want any holes because I don't want any explosions, okay? But that's how, if it gets a little too wide and it's turning into more of a plate than a mug, or a bowl than a mug, we can make a tear and we can make it a little smaller again. All right. I'm gonna do this part too because it's just a bit thin there. So now I'm gonna show you how to make your mug a little bit taller.